Why is prophylaxis essential for the Slav defense? Imagine playing a game where you are always one step ahead, stopping your opponent before they even think of their plan. That's what prophylaxis is all about in chess. It means thinking ahead to prevent your opponent's ideas from becoming threats. In the Slav defense, this concept is not just helpful, it is vital. The Slav defense begins with the moves 1d4, d5 to c4 and c6. It creates a strong, flexible pawn structure that both players want to use to their advantage. Black supports the center with the move c6, which keeps options open for developing the light-squared bishop. White, on the other hand, faces a tricky choice: defend the c4 pawn or develop the dark-squared bishop actively. Usually, they cannot do both without making a concession. This tension means both players must constantly watch for each other's plans. Black's goal with prophylaxis is to stop white from gaining an easy initiative. For example, after moves like 3 knight f3, knight f6, for knight c3 and dx-c4, black needs to be ready for white's attempts to regain the pawn or push for more space. If black ignores white's ideas, white might break through with pawn moves or tactical maneuvers. To prevent this, black might prepare e5 to challenge white's center or stop white from pushing the queenside pawn break. b5. These moves are about controlling white's options before they happen. White also needs to think prophylactically. The Slav often leads to positions where black can counterattack with b5 or e5. White can play a 3 to stop b4 or make sure the center is solid before launching an attack. If white ignores black's counterplay, black could suddenly gain active pieces and take over the game. For example, if white develops the dark-squared bishop to f4, black might respond with dx-c4, aiming to hold onto the pawn and limit white's options. If white defends the c4 pawn with e3, the bishop becomes more passive. Black then has to decide whether to challenge the center with e5 or develop other pieces, always keeping an eye on white's potential breakthroughs. The strength of the Slav defense comes from this mutual need for prophylactic thinking. Both sides must understand common plans and be ready to stop threats before they fully develop. It's not just about memorizing moves but about recognizing the ideas behind them. Knowing when to prevent a threat and when to focus on your own plans makes a big difference. If you fail to do this, you risk losing control of the game. By thinking ahead and limiting your opponent's options, you can keep the position balanced and flexible. That's why prophylaxis is so important in the Slav defense. It helps players stay in control, avoid unnecessary risks, and build a solid foundation for their game. This approach is what keeps the Slav a popular choice for players at all levels.